You know, in the tech world, there are so many companies that just look the same. It's a huge challenge just to stand out. Today, we're diving into a really interesting acquisition in ad tech that gives us a new way to think about that old problem. We're talking about how curation platform Onetag just bought a creative startup called Aryel.
And really, that's the question at the heart of this whole thing, right? When everybody's technology starts to feel kind of the same, how on earth do you convince people that yours isn't just a little different, but that it's actually better?
So to really get what's happening here, we first have to understand the battlefield. And in this case, that battlefield is the incredibly packed, super competitive world of digital advertising.
Have you ever heard the phrase interchangeable pipes? For years, that's pretty much how people saw supply-side platforms, or SSPs. Now, these are the companies that provide the essential plumbing, connecting websites with folks who want to buy ads. But for a lot of people in the business, they're just a commodity. One pipe is as good as the next.
So the industry's first big idea to fix this was something called sell-side curation. The whole idea was to stop being just a dumb pipe and start being a smart filter. You'd package up the best ad space into these really targeted deals for buyers. It was a genuine attempt to add some real value.
But here's the twist. The solution? It became the new problem. All of a sudden, everyone was a curator. And as Onetag's co-CEO put it, the market is now just full of these middlemen who all look exactly the same. That sea of sameness, it came right back.
And that, right there, brings us to the main event. How one company, Onetag, decided to make a really bold, strategic move to break out of this cycle, once and for all. This move makes so much more sense when you look at where they've been. They started back in 2015 as a DSP, helping advertisers buy ads. Then they expanded into being a global SSP, helping publishers sell them. And then in 2022, they jumped into curation. You can see each step was a move towards offering something more unique.
And this is that unique move. Onetag, the curation platform, goes out and buys Aryel, a creative tech startup. Now think about that. They didn't buy another data company. They didn't buy a rival curator. No, they bought a company that makes the ads themselves way more interesting and engaging.
Okay, so let's really unpack this. Why creative? What's the secret sauce they're getting with this deal? Well, it all comes down to getting what we'll call an interactive creative edge.
The way Aryel's tech works is actually pretty brilliant, and it's simple. First, an advertiser just uploads whatever ad creative they already have. Then, the platform automatically reshapes it to fit all the industry standard ad sizes. And then, here's the magic part. It lets them add these really cool interactive elements to get people to actually engage with the ad.
And this is where it all just clicks. The co-CEO gives this perfect example. Imagine an eyewear brand lets you use your phone's camera to virtually try on glasses. Right inside the ad banner, you don't have to leave the article you're reading. The ad stops being an annoying interruption and actually becomes a cool, useful experience.
So you see, this is way bigger than just making cool-looking ads. This technology is the absolute centerpiece of a much larger business strategy. This is their plan to finally be different.
And they're building this plan from a place of serious strength. It's important to know that Onetag grew its ad revenue by a whopping 34% last year, and that was before this acquisition. This deal is just so smart because it's hitting like 4 targets with one stone. Yeah, it helps them stand out, but the data from these interactive ads, that's going to be used to train their new AI engine. It also makes these powerful ad tools simple enough for smaller advertisers to use. And maybe most importantly, it gives them a way to talk directly to brands and their chief marketing officers in the one language they truly understand, creative.
So what's the result of all this? Well, you've got a newly combined company with some serious scale. Based on last year's numbers, we're talking about a $70 million revenue business. That's a whole new level to compete on.
All right, so the deal is signed, the strategy is locked in. What's next? What's the road ahead look like for this new combined Onetag?
They've got a really clear step-by-step plan. First up, right now, they're integrating the 2 Italian teams, getting the culture and workflows all synced up. Next, in the near term, they're going to double down on their strong position in Europe. And the long game? That's it on 2 huge growth markets, a major expansion into the US and a big push into connected TV. Ads on services like Hulu and Roku.
And all of this leaves us with one really big question. Onetag is making a huge bet that winning in ad tech isn't just about having the best pipes anymore, it's about improving the stuff that actually flows through them. So as we see AI and creative technology start to merge like this, you just have to wonder,
Could this be the new blueprint for how you win?